G'day guys, Crypto Trader Vader here with part 3, the final part of my interview with Doug from digitalcurrencytraders.com. In this part he talks about some of his influences, some of the books that he's read that have helped him develop his trading system, as well as going into detail a little bit more about his free course offering that is coming up pretty soon. I'll include links and everything like that in the description. Without further ado, here's the final part of my recent interview with Doug. Thanks. What is your course all about? Tell us what's in it and what people will learn in it, and what
Well,
you hope they'll take away.
the course is broken into two parts. The most important part is free at the beginning, and that's how to think about money, how to make money, and how to make money work for you. So if you're starting off and you're struggling and you're in a job you hate and you've got debts and you're stuck in that job, you can't just quit. You've got to have the benefit of having you working for money and your money working for money. So I show you how to start out with nothing, how to make money for free, how to make free Bitcoin, and how to put that Bitcoin to work for you so that it's slowly growing, so that it's making more money. So while you're making money, your money is making money. And by going over this habit on a long-term period, you start to change the way you think and feel about all the money that comes into your possession. And any extra money that you have, bam, it goes to work for you. You start making it work for you and work for you until both the stream of money that is working for you is big enough that it's paying your monthly expenses. Now you can quit your job and really work on making money work for you. You can really focus on getting ahead. And this is stuff I learned from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, from Robert Kiyosaki's book, and talking about the fast track versus the rat race where most people are. So the first part of that course is to help people. And it's made a huge difference in my own life. Then the second part of the course is the more advanced stuff of trading, where I want you to go through the whole course and get these risk control rules and learn the dangers of trading so that you're fully aware of what is the risk when you get into trading. Then this simple trading plan that takes very little time that you can implement. You can learn in an afternoon, really. It's not a very difficult plan. And then you can start practicing putting it into play and learning about your own trading psychology. So the second part of the course is a paid course because there's a lot to learn. It's like becoming a pilot. You're not going to learn how to become a pilot of an airplane by following people on Twitter and taking their recommendations. You really need to take a course. You really need to drill for skill over and over and over and over again so that if an emergency does come up while you're flying, you actually know what to do beforehand. You've already practiced all the emergency maneuvers. And it's the same thing with trading. It's that dangerous. And so I put the course together to teach those things and then make it a lifetime course so that whenever it fits into the routine of your life, you can come back in and practice and work at the course materials. So that's what I've put together.
The really important stuff is that first stuff, is that how to make money work for you, the psychology of money, and making sure that it's that your mindset has shifted from having money work for you instead of working for it. But the mistake that people make is they chase after the Twitter pump and dumpers. Give me tips, give me tips. I just want to buy. But it's not about that, eh?
No, definitely not. It's the money management and the risk control rules that that you have to learn ahead of time. And after you've learned these risk control rules, it's sort of like swinging a bat when somebody throws a ball. You really have to be watching, and you're the only one that can swing that bat. Nobody else can swing it for you and tell you to swing it at the right time, at the right height to be able to hit that ball. So it's the same thing with trading, where you can't get somebody else to tell you when to buy and sell. You have to be ready on your own with these rules ahead of time so that you know that when it does this, this is what I do. And then when I've done this, these are the things I do. And when this happens, these are the things I do. It's layers and layers of what I think of as like a different food buffet, where at this buffet you have these choices, but at that buffet you have the other choices. And as the trade goes through the stages, you have to know what are the choices that you have so that as soon as things happen, you just automatically do it and then go on about your day rather than sitting hours and hours at the chart.
What's, just to throw a curveball at you, how do you differentiate between something that is a longer term financial goal and, taking your time and being very calculated with your approach to trading, and seizing an opportunity when there is one? Because obviously there are opportunities that do arise that are, you might see a particular I don't know, a shorter term trade come up. How do you take those opportunities? You just let them flow by?
Well, with cryptocurrencies, I do believe that the markets are manipulated to start off with. So they're manipulated down and they're manipulated up. We have the trading robots that will manipulate the prices down to be able to hit all your stops and push the prices even further, where they're buying everything up, and then the prices go way up. That's the negative manipulation, and it's one of the reasons I don't use stop losses. Then there's the positive manipulation, which is the groups that are doing pump and dumps, or news comes out and it goes through across social media and everybody just goes mad on it. For example, Decreed just the other day made a huge pump up and then settled back down. And for that, I have a strategy I call the popcorn strategy, where I take a percentage of my holdings and I leave it at way extreme crazy levels in sell orders and just forget about it. And my profit was hit on that Decreed trade. Prices came back down and I bought back in more and I increased my position size. So there is the way that I get ready for this with the way of using stop losses below the market and above the market. Mm-hmm. And the other way I go about it is that when I put money into trading, it is money that is gone for the rest of my life. I am never taking that money out again. So there's a psychology, there's a view of that money that it is now working for me, and it will stay there working for me forever. It'll always make new money for me, new money, new money. Eventually, this money will make a whole bunch of new money, like the goose that lays the golden egg, and I'll scoop that golden egg out. But the goose stays there forever working for me. So once I put that money in there, I'm not thinking about my profit now. I'm thinking about making that money work for me forever. The profit will take care of itself, like it did back in June and July of 2017, and in December, January. There was clear times in the charts when it said 1, 2, 3 top formation, the uptrend line was broken and the 3-month moving average was crossing over. It was time for me to sell. So I don't try to prejudge the profits, and I prepare for the manipulation that way. And I have that psychology of that money is there forever and I'm never taking it out ever again. So those two things give me the longer term view that I'm going to build that money to much more than I need, and the shorter term view where I have those sell orders way up at the top so that I catch those quick pumps. But I'm definitely more of a longer term trader, and I want to give the markets room to move, and I want to have the free time so that I can just take 10 minutes, look at all the charts and go, okay, nothing to do today, and probably nothing to do for the next week or so, by looking at the charts and where the moving averages are and that kind of stuff. And I can focus on riding the course. I can go and ride my bike. I can help around the house.
You can do these videos.
I can do these videos. I can try to make a difference in other people's lives and share this stuff, because there is so much information out there that is just opinion based and not specific structured strategy like I put together in this course.
It's financial illiteracy, right?
Financial enthusiasm without a real structured plan. So I've been guilty of this in many different cases, and I have to review my structured plan to curb sometimes my enthusiasm, because which belief is stronger, my trading plan or my belief in that project? When I go back and look at my historical trades where I've made the most and lost the most, the markets I believed in the most, I lost the most money in, because I held them against my trading plan.
Yeah.
The markets that I didn't really care about, I don't really know much about the project, I made much more money because I traded the chart pattern and not my opinion. So if you're trading other people's opinions out there and you don't have a structured plan to follow on the charts, they may have a great opinion just at the wrong moment. And if I put my trade on now, it turns into a 30% loss. I take that trade off, prices go up. You've got to have that structured plan in trading the chart patterns, in my mind, better than the fundamentals. Fundamentals are 10% of my trading plan.
Fantastic. I guess, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but just before we wrap it up, curious to get maybe just a little soundbite about what you would recommend to someone who has lost money. This most recent bear market has been pretty tragic for, I think, some people. A lot of people got into crypto and alts in December, January, and a lot of those people are still holding bags all the way down. What do you say to these people that may not have the experience that you do, that may not have the knowledge that you do? What's something that you can, some advice that you can give them to help them turn that around?
Well, first of all, I say hold. Hold for the longer term, and then really ignore them for now. There's going to be months or weeks at least of prices moving around sideways, and just ignore them for now. There's nowhere near time to take profit on these things. And in the meantime, do some self-education about this. Go and order the book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. Get the book, get the audio book, order them, get the book in and read it, underline things, listen to the audio over and over again. This book is probably the most profound of all of the trading books out there, and really important for cryptocurrencies because of the price manipulation. This book talks about trading back in the 1920s and the 1930s, and it goes through the whole life experience of a successful trader, right from the bucket shops when he was just a kid, as he was learning about trading, and as he gained experience. It's one of the most important books that you can read over and over again. I read it pretty much every year, and take as many courses as you can. Read the book Money is My Friend. This is more core. This is a fantastic book. It's made a huge difference in my life. And it wasn't a huge selling book. Phil Loud didn't really get rich selling his book, but he was a very wealthy guy because he knew how to work money. So I recommend that book.
That's such a fantastic book. I took it on holiday with my girlfriend, and she ended up reading more than I did. She was amazed that there was a book on money that A, interested her, and B, was kind of a holistic view, was more a view of the psychology of money, as opposed to just make sure that you save more than you spend and all that rubbish,
That's right. You really need to know the whys behind save more than you spend, and do the mathematics of it so that it builds a picture in your mind that you can hold from day to day as you're doing the micro little bits. You've got that bigger picture in your mind that you feel the sensation of the bigger picture. You feel the success of that bigger picture when you're doing the little things here today. Then you can stick with it over time. And that was one of the big things with Phil too, is that there's ways of thinking about money that I wasn't aware that I was stuck within. And it was a negative view of money. I had negative emotions. I had resentment. I had guilt. I had, all sorts of negative emotions about money. So when I started to deal with money, I didn't take the right actions because I had all these negative emotions. By reviewing that and starting to think about it, I changed the way I was feeling about money. And then it's a lot easier to deal with it properly and to do the right things in the smallest little bits that accumulate over time.
I was very surprised at the effect that it had on me in that respect as well. So many negative things around money, so negative emotions. And I was meditating the other day after reading some, and I got teary because I was thinking about how just some memories, about how my mum was very poor when I was growing up, and just these things kind of affect you and affect your attitude towards money, and ultimately affect the way that you view it and the way you bring it into your life.
Yes. Yes. And all it takes is a change of ideas. You look at two different people, it's just the way they think that makes them into different success or failure in their lives, just by the way they think. And so by reading these books, after you've had all these negative trades, you'll get to start to think about different ideas about money. And then I want you to take my free course where I'll teach you how to make Bitcoin for free, how to make it work for you and grow, and how to do that over time. So then you will start to rebuild your successful feeling about money as your altcoins all start to go up. Then you may want to take the more advanced course so that you can see where there's the specific buy signals, where's the specific sell signals, and then you'll know when to take your profits next time the big bull run is finished and things are topping out, which will happen.
And that's priceless advice.
Hopefully it makes a lot of people a lot of money. There's more to be made out there in the cryptocurrency land than I can possibly make on my own. So the more of your success does not take away from my success. And that's one of the reasons I'm happy to share this information.
It's very true. Well, thanks so much for jumping on the call with me, man. And I'll be sure to include links in the description about the books you recommended, as well as the course, of course. And I recommend the course thoroughly myself. So.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure to watch your stuff. I look forward to your next trading video.